Have you ever wondered about the giants mentioned in sacred scriptures? Yes, Goliath stands tall in our collective memory, but did you know he was not alone? Today, we're embarking on a journey through the Bible to uncover the stories of Goliath's 5 brothers and the giant legacy they've left behind. Unlock the secrets of the Bible as we unfold the fascinating history and origins of Goliath's 5 brothers. Stay tuned as we explore their fascinating history and origins. Welcome back to Divine Favor. Before we start, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe below the video. Also activate the notification bell so that you receive the next videos directly on your devices. Share this video with anyone intrigued by the mysteries of the past. Engage with us in the comments below. Share your thoughts for more captivating tales from the Bible. The saga of Goliath's 5 brothers, the giants who carved their names into the fabric of history with the size of their feats and their physical stature, is as fascinating as it is awe-inspiring. These towering figures, rooted deeply in the pages of biblical texts, serve as towering reminders of what it means to encounter true power. But who were these enigmatic giants, and what can their legacies teach us about facing our own giants today? Have you ever wondered if the term family rivalry applied to giants? Well, strap in, because we're diving deep into the lore of biblical George Foreman's Goliath and his lesser-known but equally hefty brothers. These guys didn't just toss stones, they were the original towering terrors, making the Philistine army look like a squad of cheerleaders. Goliath may be the famed giant from Gatha Philistia, but his family story is just as intriguing. Alongside him were his 5 brothers, each a giant in his own right. Let's meet these colossal figures and understand their place in biblical history. The saga of Goliath's brothers begins with a lineage descended from the Rephaim giants, also known as the Rephate giants. Goliath and his kin wielded power and influence that echoed across the ancient lands of Canaan and beyond. Following Goliath's defeat, his brothers sought revenge against King David, setting the stage for epic confrontations. Among them was King Og of Basin, whose stature symbolized the ancient giant tribes of Canaan. These tales aren't just battles, they're stories of perseverance, faith, and destiny. The Rephaim giant saga extends beyond the Middle East. With accounts from Mesopotamia to the Americas and India, these legends paint a picture of a time when giants walked the earth, interacting with civilizations and shaping ancient myths. A family of 5 giants. Now let's delve into the specifics of each brother. From Lami with his large spear to the unnamed giant with 6 toes on each hand and foot, these stories highlight the incredible diversity and the sheer scale of these beings' existence. Stay tuned till the end. Goliath the Gittite, the giant of Gath. 1. Samuel 17:4-7. A champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out of the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span. He had a bronze helmet on his head and wore a coat of scale armor of bronze, weighing 5,000 shekels. On his legs he wore bronze greaves, and a bronze javelin was slung on his back. His spear shaft was like a weaver's rod, and its iron point weighed 600 shekels. His shield-bearer went ahead of him, his formidable physical attributes of Goliath, highlighting his immense stature and the impressive armor he wore into battle. It sets the stage for the iconic confrontation between Goliath and the young shepherd David, emphasizing the seemingly insurmountable odds that David faced. The story of Goliath is very well known in Islam as Jalut in Arabic. He's part of the tale where David and Saul fight against the Philistines. While the Quran's version of the story is short, it's similar to the one in the Hebrew Bible. Muslim scholars have connected Goliath to the Amalekites. In olden times, scholars used Goliath's name to represent the enemies of the Israelites before David's time. In Muslim tradition, the battle with Goliath is seen as a foreshadowing of Muhammad's battle of Badr, with Goliath symbolizing Muhammad's adversaries. His tale is one of the most iconic, a narrative steeped in drama and symbolism. His battle with David is legendary. Goliath's presence on the battlefield was as psychological as it was physical. His defeat, as noted in 2 Samuel 21:19, is not just a story of triumph against the odds, but a broader metaphor for overcoming the giants in our lives. Goliath remains a figure emblematic of the challenges we face, large or small, and the unexpected solutions that can lead to victory. It seems like Goliath was the type to never turn down a challenge, even if wisdom might suggest otherwise. Fashion tip: if you're going to be a giant, at least have the sense to wear a helmet. You never know when a future king will take aim for the head, literally. Lami, the giant of the mighty spear. Lami, the eldest of these colossal brothers, was basically the giant equivalent of that older brother who could do no wrong. Just like Goliath, he was a giant among men, towering at an estimated height of about 10 or 10.5 feet. Picture him strutting onto the battlefield with a spear that could double as a flagpole, and you'll get the gist. Earns his place in history through sheer might and skill, as chronicled in 1 Chronicles 20:5. Lami wielded a spear so massive it was likened to a weaver's beam, a detail that underscores not only his immense strength but also the terror he inspired in the hearts of those who stood against him. Imagine standing on the battlefield, the ground trembling beneath your feet as Lami approaches, his spear cutting through the air with deadly precision. His shadow probably weighed more than your typical soldier. I mean, who needs tactical warfare when you're basically a one-man artillery unit? Yet even the mightiest can fall, reminding us that beneath the armor and prowess lies a vulnerability common to all. Fun fact, if Lami were around today, he'd definitely be the guy with the biggest truck, compensating for nothing but just because he can. Ishbi-Benob, the giant of the heavy spear. Then there's Ishbi-Benob, another of Goliath's siblings. The Bible paints him as an indomitable force, armored in bronze and armed with a spear whose weight alone would crush a lesser man, but also a gigantic sword in an attempt to defeat David. However, David was not alone. Abishai, David's loyal warrior, stepped in and ensured Ishbi-Benob's defeat. Ishbi-Benob's stature, like that of his brothers, was formidable, ranging between 9 to 10 feet tall. This guy took sibling rivalry to a new level, trying to outdo his brother with his own oversized weapon of choice. 2 Samuel 21:16. 17 tells us he had a bad case of pick on someone your own size, except there wasn't anyone. Essentially, Ishbi-Benob learned the hard way that quantity doesn't always trump quality. When choosing a battlefield opponent, maybe don't pick the one guy who's already famous for slaying your gigantic brother. Just a thought. Saph, the giant of the Rephaim race. Saph, another behemoth amongst brothers, carried the legacy of the Rephaim, a race renowned for their unmatched strength. His epic confrontation with Sibbecai, as recounted in 2 Samuel 21:18-22, is a testament to his formidable prowess. Even as he fell, Saph's name became synonymous with the valor and might of his people. Through Saph's story, we're reminded of the legacy we carry, the expectations set by those who came before us, and the inevitability of our own struggles to honor that legacy while forging our own paths. Saph, the middle child, carried the giant's torch with pride. Saph shared a similar stature with Goliath, approximately 9 to 10 feet tall. He's mentioned in 2 Samuel 21:18-22, and honestly, he just seems like he was trying to keep up with family traditions. Facing off against Sibbecai the Hushathite, he probably thought he had it in the bag until he didn't. Turns out, even giants can have a bad day at the office. His colossal stature no match for the determination of those who dared to defy the giants that roamed the land. Reality check. Being big and scary works until you meet someone who's small, scrappy, and has absolutely nothing to lose. The colossal giant, the unnamed behemoth. Last and certainly not least, we have the could-be-the bouncer at the pearly gates giant. This guy is a mysterious figure with 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, because apparently being colossal wasn't enough. 2 Samuel 21:20-22. He's the wild card of the family, the uncle whose stories everyone listens to at gatherings because you just can't make this stuff up. He remains unnamed, his very existence a question mark that challenges our understanding. His story, albeit brief, encourages us to look beyond the unknown, to embrace curiosity and acknowledge that history, much like our own lives, is filled with anomalies that defy explanation yet enrich our narrative. Life lesson: always be yourself, unless you can be a giant with extra digits. Then always be a giant with extra digits. In a world that often feels dominated by giants, be they challenges at work, personal struggles, or societal issues, the stories of Goliath and his brothers offer more than just a glimpse into the past. They serve as enduring reminders that with faith, courage, and a bit of ingenuity, we can overcome the seemingly insurmountable obstacles that stand in our way. So, let's draw inspiration from these tales of old and face our own giants with heads held high, knowing that sometimes even the mightiest can fall. So the next time you're facing your own giant, just remember, size isn't everything, and sometimes all it takes is a little faith, a good aim, and maybe a really slingshot. Who knows? You might just become the next legend whispered about in the halls of history. Thank you for watching. See you soon.